Hello and welcome to Shelter 142 in Switzerland. How to calculate the components of an off-grid photovoltaic system. This is the first video in a series of altogether 6 videos in which I show how I calculate my photovoltaic systems, my off-grid photovoltaic systems. And let me start by saying I am not an expert. This is the way I do it and it works for me. This is how a typical photovoltaic system might look like. At the center there is a charge controller and everything is connected to this charge controller. First of all, there is a load. The load is variable, of course, depends on what you want to power. Then there is a solar panel connected to the charge controller and a battery. And several questions arise. For example, how large should the capacity of the battery be that I install? How many watt should the solar panel have? 5, 10, 20 or even more than 100 watt? And finally, how large does the charge controller needs to be? And when I calculate my systems, I typically do it stepwise. And first of all, I always consider the load. Then second, the battery. Third, the solar panel, and so forth. And only in the end, I consider how to connect the components or how the wiring should be. First, the load. So what do you want to power and for how many hours per day? The load can be a light, a pump, a radio or whatever. Anything you can imagine. And what we need to find out regarding the load is current over time, or in other words, amp hours. How much current does the load draw in one day? Second, the battery. Kind of similar questions. What capacity should the battery have? It's again current over time that is drawn from the battery. Again, amp hours. How many watt should the solar panel or photovoltaic panel be able to provide? This is the maximal power output. Of course, always depends on the condition of the sun. How much light do you have? But in general, we need to find out watt corresponding to current over time, again amp hours. So how many amp hours do we get out of X watt? Charge controller, how much current can it handle? And here we always need to consider the highest current that can occur in the specific system we are designing in amp. And finally, this is the overview screen that you will see at the end of each video, and here you can choose to which video you would like to jump. So this was the intro. There is 5 other videos, one regarding load, battery, panel, controller and connections. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.